Before we get started, do they want to hear the crack of my Red Bull?
You did get some on your finger. It would have been cool.
Where did you get the Red Bull?
My locker.
Why do you have Red Bull in your locker?
I grabbed one from my fridge this morning.
I thought that there was no drinks allowed on the second floor.
So today, it's the Thursday of Catholic Schools Week. Next week, we'll get into more depth with Catholic Schools Week, but right now, we got some celebrities as we're dressed as today. Olivia, who are you?
I'm Kris Jenner. I have a wig on that's really itchy right now.
We'll insert a picture.
Madigan, who are you?
I am the Kim Kardashian.
Wow, Kim Kardashian.
And Jace
I'm Benny.
balled out today.
I'm Benny Franks. I'm Benjamin Franklin, the founding father.
We'll insert pics there too, but he
Yes.
balled out for sure. So that was great.
Yes, it's always great. We do have a surprise guest coming on any moment now. Who knows what you'll be up here, but
Pretty exciting.
It is exciting. First guest ever. Our biggest fan. We'll get more into depth with that once she walks in. But as for today, what have you guys thought of today? It's our first actual day of Catholic Schools Week where we have classes. So it was kind of...
I'm not going to get into it too much because this is going to be next week mostly, but I'm exhausted. And today felt extremely long because it was like the only day this week that we have the normal class schedule. So it was just hard sitting in the classes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a long week. I would say that yesterday felt like Friday for sure.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many random things in this room. I never took a look around, but there's just a napkin dispenser.
We used to have our freshman stew code meetings in here.
Yeah. Those are the good days when there's actual meetings in here. They don't have No, they don't have meetings in these rooms anymore.
Oh.
They don't use them. Well, you can't use cake room anymore, but...
There's not enough seats anymore.
Yeah.
Because it used to be just 4 from each grade, so it was perfect.
Yeah, but now it's a whole party.
Yeah.
Maybe we should open up the windows so we can see our guests as they come up here. I need to take this off. These glasses have been...
Pull the shades if you want.
These glasses have been giving me a headache all day.
No, if you hear something like scratching on the mic, it's literally just me itching my scalp. It's just really hard today. It's really itchy.
I feel really bad. Max is in here today, and he had the same outfit as me. It was quite an expensive get up, and he bought it as well, and he's not even here because he's sick.
That's really unfortunate.
I tried to talk to him today, and I couldn't. He wouldn't respond to me.
Before our guest shows up, what do you guys have to do?
Oh, is that our guest?
Okay, hold on.
It was in fact not our guest.
Maybe open the shades a little bit.
I don't know what I'm doing. I hate hearing so much. Spinny bar.
The pole on the other side. Spinny bar.
Spinny bar.
Why are you carrying around your wig like that?
Jace, if it doesn't turn that way, it's probably the other way.
It's turned.
You can go that's probably good.
There we go. Now we should be able to see her. Perfect. Do you guys have curtains like that at home? I have the ones.
Yeah.
I have the ones with the little push button on it, and you just lift it up.
Oh, Queen's here.
Our guest is here. Open the door.
Welcome, Mrs. Berger.
Hello.
Welcome, Mrs. Berger.
Hello, Liv, Maddie, and Jace.
You can sit on this side, Mrs.
by
Berger.
Jace.
All right, perfect. So we already explained all of our costumes today for Celebrity Day, so please explain yours.
Great. Well, so for Celebrity Day today, my three of my amazing seniors, I decided to surprise them today, as I was so excited to hear and listen about their podcast recently.
Which we're very thankful.
Yes, thank you. Shout out to you guys.
Shout out.
So anyway, that really inspired me for my celebrity costume for the day. It was like, wow, these seniors are just amazing with this podcast. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome so much. And so, I've had these students for a while and I'm just so proud. And so I was like, I just want to surprise them. And so it just, as I'm listening to the podcast, I was like, oh, what could I do? And I was like, Liv and Maddie, because, Liv, Maddie,
Right.
Disney, obviously.
Yeah.
That's a movie show, whatever.
Yeah.
But you're not doing that. And then I was like, oh, Liv, Maddie, and Jace. So then I found a coloring sheet and colored it, Liv, Maddie, and then added Jace at the bottom.
And it looks great.
It looks great.
Yeah.
So
It was the
I
best
dressed in
present.
black. walk and surprise them today.
Yeah, she's our paparazzi.
I'm their paparazzi, so it's fun.
Yeah.
I got to surprise Liv and Maddie during second period.
I was standing in the hallway for our class when the bell was about to ring, and I from my side view, I saw this black figure crouch sprint to class, and I was like, that must have been Mrs. Berger. And then I now know why she was hiding it, but.
Yeah, because first period is my prep, so it's okay, I gotta hide from them so they don't see me.
Yeah.
And then the one day that I'm actually walking down the hallway back to my room to get ready for second period, and then they are. So I had to quick hide and shut my door. And so then I thought about it later. It was I should have called Jace to the room to have the excitement right away.
Yeah.
I knew his reaction wasn't going to be as great. He's just Maddie and I freaked out, but you were like, wow!
And then Mrs. Papineau heard and she saw, because she was in on this, but she kind of helped me with it all too as well, and so she was all excited about it to see your reaction. So
it was exciting. Honestly, it was probably the best free advertisement we could have had.
Yeah.
Because I heard you walk into Mrs. O's class, and she was like, "What's your costume?" And you're like, "I've had to explain it to everybody. Only the seniors get it." But then you shouted out the podcast.
I did. I know everyone today was my other classes, because my freshman and sophomore, because I teach 7 through 12. So obviously your class knew, they got it, but all the other age, and they're like, "Wow, really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, they really do." And so a few other teachers too were like, "What are you?" And so I was explaining, and I'm like, "Yeah, you got to check out this podcast." And so,
wow.
Shout out if there's any teachers listening to the podcast right now.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mrs. Berger.
Yeah. So this is great.
We do have one more question before you go.
Yes.
One of our famous episodes about the March for Life, when it was quite a experience in the beginning. Could we get your perspective on that?
From the last year?
From last year.
Yeah.
From the last March for Life.
When I listened to your podcast, it actually, because I was the one that was with Liv when she had to make the decision to continue to go or to go home. And so I actually think we both had tears about it.
You were crying. I don't know if I mentioned that. But
yeah, I was. 'Cause I just felt really bad for you of having to make that decision and choice. And I'm like, well, I will be here to help you through the trip. Whatever, we'll be here.
Which was so great to hear, but unfortunately it still didn't motivate me enough.
Yeah, and I was just like, well, I can't make that decision and choice, because I don't want to be like, well, you need to go home, and then you be at home and be like, oh, I really wanted to be there.
Yeah.
Or for you to stay and then just be miserable the whole trip. So that was hard. And then when I listened to Maddie's part about how sad she was on the bus, I got really sad and all teary-eyed again, going, I would have went and sat by her if I would have known she was this sad.
That's okay. I think I needed a moment.
Yeah, the last thing she needed was someone to sit by her. She was just
But you made the most of it too, being there. And and as hard as that was to make that decision for you to not go, obviously you ended up being home and you were sick, so it wouldn't have been any fun sitting in the hotel room in DC when all your friends were out and about experiencing all the amazing things that you got to experience. So
it was meant to be.
It was. And other than the sickness that you all spoke about, which was just crazy. Yeah. I felt so bad for everyone, but I was just really thankful and grateful that, I did get to be there, and I got to be like what you might say, the mom, the nurse to all the students. So that was my role, and I really wouldn't have had it any other way. Like, I knew these students who were not so far, or they were so far away from home, and their parents of letting their parents know they're okay, we're taking care of them, don't worry about them. And so it definitely was a different experience that year than the previous time I went. And then this year, thankfully, we just had some motion sickness, nothing major. So, thank God for that. But it definitely was an adventure and experience, but there was still greatness and blessings that came out of that March for Life. And I just was thankful to be there well, not all of you, but but we were still with you. We still were with you, even though you weren't with us.
I haven't heard scary stories from this year's March, so it seems like it went okay.
It did. We actually didn't. No one had to stay back because they got sick. It was just some motion sickness. Nothing major like we had that kind of went through last year. But I have to say, like, students were amazing even though they were sick. Like, they just, you know, I was just like, okay, we're just going to offer this up. And, you know, we plugged through and we made it through, and it still was a great experience.
Yeah, from all the pictures and videos I saw, it seemed like you guys had a blast. So
Yeah. So sorry you weren't there.
No. It's okay.
Physically with us.
Right.
But we were still thinking of you and missing you and praying for you. So
Well, do you have any questions before you go back and teach your class, or?
Yeah, well, no questions, but I just really, no questions for the three of you. I just am still amazed that the three of you are putting this together. And I'm actually honored to be your first guest, I believe, on here. Yes, your first guest. And so exciting. And wow, thanks, seniors. You are the best.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Biggest fan.
Yeah.
Biggest fan, yeah.
Shout out Mrs. Berger.
Yeah.
Mrs. Berger.
So just remember, when you become famous, just remember where it started in business class.
Right.
You know,
humble beginnings.
Yes.
When we're pulling in all the money, we'll know how to use it.
Exactly, because I taught you how to
so
do all
true.
that.
That's so true. Yeah.
And the communication part, look at this.
That's
I know.
real.
Yeah.
I know.
So I could just see this podcast maybe even going, you know, maybe you'll even have your own Liv, Maddie, and Jace show.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it could expand into...
You know, we hope so. We hope so.
That's the goal.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for having me. All right, have a great day.
You too. Hey guys, that was our first guest ever.
That was awesome.
I don't know why, but that felt like we were like on the radio.
I know, that felt a little more serious than usual.
I know.
I know when we brought it up to her, actually she brought it up to us. We walked in and she had the whole surprise or whatever. She mentioned that she would want to be on it. And this week we were looking for either some sort of topic or someone to come on for this week's podcast, and it was perfect. So thankfully she sacrificed her time and came up here and chatted with us. So that was great.
Yes, it worked out very great. Very great. Today in English class, we were looking at children's books at the beginning of class. I don't know what that was about. Maybe it's like a yearbook thing. I don't know what you had in mind with that. Or if it was just with that article that we read. But was there any like ones that came back to you and you're like, oh, wow, I remember this book. I completely forgot about this.
The one that like really stuck out to me that someone brought up, it was the, I think it was like Skippy John Jones book. It's like
Skippy
this
John
little
Jones.
chihuahua that like would just like mess around.
I've never heard of that.
I recognized the cover. That's how it was with a lot of them. I could see the cover in my mind, but I couldn't see the title. And also I had a really weird experience where I like associate like I had a taste in my mouth when I saw a book.
What?
It was really weird.
What book was it?
It was How Dinosaurs Say Goodnight.
I don't know that one. I feel like I had more of like the girl books, like there was like a Pinkalicious series, which that one.
Oh yeah, Pinkalicious, let's go.
Oh, you know those? You're familiar?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
This book, I don't know if you've ever...
Never heard of it.
I had a weird like taste in my mouth when I saw the book. I don't know if I have like a memory associated with it. But I have a few things like that where I just like remember things and I have like...
Sorry, my wig is so itchy right now.
I have sounds and tastes like associated with things. Sorry.
Do you remember that one time, I don't know, we were talking about it in painting, but there's this book where I think an author came to our school and it was the bear like in the mall. You remember that?
Oh, Corduroy?
Corduroy.
I loved Corduroy books.
Corduroy? Was it the author that came to our school?
Maybe it wasn't the author. Maybe the book was like given to every student in the school, but
Yeah, it was something like that.
yeah, I don't know. But
You know what else I got flashbacks with too? For Catholic Schools Week, I saw like the elementary students saw a movie, and I was just thinking, I remember when we did that.
why didn't we do that? We should have thought of that.
We should have thought of that to do that.
I loved going to the movie theater, like for our field trip for Catholic Schools Week in elementary school. That was
Do you know what else was like a great field trip in elementary school? Going to like the public library. Did you guys ever do that? Really?
Oh, I have to bring up.
Did you walk or did you?
No, we did
See,
buses.
that's why we didn't. That's why we didn't like it because we had to walk the whole time. Or maybe that's just a me thing. I don't know. But we had to walk every time we went to the public library for a field trip, and we did like nothing there.
See,
I don't even remember the public library field
We
trip.
went like a couple times.
That just doesn't sound exciting to me. Like thinking
It
back
wasn't.
on
we
it.
would
horrible.
play games, and they always had like really colorful books. I don't know.
Thinking of field trips, I think my favorite was the Saratoga Park one when we went to Bismarck, even though I got like really sick during that, and like Hunter like
that was great.
Pretty much cracked his rib. It was kind of funny. Killdeer Mountains was good.
Did you guys ever go to that one like Native American hut, like Earth Lodge in like Mandan, that school field trip?
No, but we went to like Fort Lincoln and stuff like that. We
also went to like our teacher's house for a field trip one year. That was in kindergarten.
Oh, yep.
But it was the best time.
It was. She had a huge dog. I remember, Albert almost got like ran over by that dog.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever go to like the rodeo arena at DSU for a field trip where they had all those like animals?
We went. I remember going. I don't know how many times we went, but one year we did go, and they had like the bunnies and like.
Oh, you mean like the DSU, like the agriculture building where you went inside and okay.
I think those were some of the best days of my life because growing up I was like a horse girl. Like ask any of my elementary.
How did
you have
trips go like with the public schools? Like how were discipline things? How were like did you have to go in sections, like because there's so many of you guys, like how did that work? Because we all went as one unit every single time.
Oh yeah, okay, so in case no one knows, I went to public school and elementary school, so we did it by like grades. So each like elementary school like grade would go, but with all the buildings having like kindergarten through like 5th grade, each like grade could only be there for like maybe an hour each field trip day. And so, or they would like split it up. They would have like 3 days a week where they would like bring like all these kids.
Wait, so you're saying each grade would go, so it would be like 3rd grade from like every elementary school would all go?
No, like 3rd grade from like each like school.
Oh.
But like if it was like a bigger or like longer field trip, like the ones to like Bismarck or something, like the zoo, then they would have like, they would split it up into like 3 different like days. And they would just take like a ton of kids.
Oh my gosh.
From what I remember, at least.
I want to backtrack real quick to the public library because I have a funny story that I just remembered. I told it at Leadership Dickinson because we had to bring a funny story. But I was talking about how when I was little, I was at the elevator in the public library and I was like just like walking over there. I loved going up and down elevators, escalators, anything like that. I love doing that. I just walked through and you know the little gap between like where the door slides in, like between the floor and like the elevator?
Yeah.
You know that little gap there? I looked down it for a split second, like maybe like half a second. I look down, glasses fall straight through that hole.
They did.
It's like a swish. It's just straight through. No, like it didn't bounce anything. It went straight through the gap.
What?
I remember we talked to the library people and they got the elevator like technician that had to go like unlock the bottom to go down there, grab my glasses, give them back to me. The glasses were fine, weren't broken.
No,
really?
But yeah.
Who were you with? Like your mom?
I don't even remember what the circumstance was, but yeah, I don't even know. I have a lot of weird stories from when I was little. Like once I got stuck in my seatbelt, that was right outside in the parking lot actually.
That happens to like a lot of kids.
They had to like cut it?
I like tangled up in it.
Oh.
No, so what happened was my grandpa was in the school for some reason, I think. I think he just drove over because he lives nearby. But my mom called my grandpa because I was with my mom. We were waiting to pick up my sister here. I was maybe third grade maybe, and we were waiting to pick my sister up, and I was bored because she took so long to get out of the school. I don't know how you do that. Like she would be like it'd be like 3:30, but it was every single day. So it was every single day. It was I get picked up from school and then I have to wait for my sister. But that was towards later because I did tech too. Tech were good days.
Wait,
shout out tech.
I have a tech public library story. So this last summer, Liv and I worked at Tech, and we one day brought the little kitties to the public library. And I'm not going to get into all the drama that went down, but let's just say when we finally got all the children there, and we walked from Trinity Elementary, east?
I'm not going to lie to you, I wasn't there that day.
Liv wasn't there. Oh, yeah.
Do you remember?
That's what made it so bad, because we were so short-staffed that day.
But anyways, keep going.
But what school were we at that time?
East.
Yeah, so we walked from Trinity Elementary East to the public library with about probably like 50 kids, and we had 2 rotations. And let's just say that when we got there, the staff didn't know that we were bringing 50 kids. So somewhere in the logistics of the planning, something got missed. And so basically we're there with 50 kids, and there's no games there. There was no there's just
it was I think we were told before that the librarians were gonna have them sit down, read a story to them,
have activities. You guys know how kids kids are. Kids like aren't interested in what a library has to offer.
So I'm sure they were nice, calm, and collected. They sat down on the ground. They were having a good time. They just stayed there quiet.
Let's just say I had to bring out my scary library voice. I wasn't proud of it, but I got assigned the like preschool, kindergarten, first graders.
Oh my.
So it's me and like probably 15 to 20 of like 5-year-olds. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna let like you guys pick out the books. Cause then my thought process was, okay, they'll be interested in it, so they'll sit down. Mm-hmm. Well, they brought me this book where I didn't know half the words. So I was butchering this book.
Oh no.
And I swear.
Wait, who? Oh wait, we can't name names.
Yeah, we can't name drop the kids, but
yeah, I was gonna say who was it?
We had these twins at Summer Tech. Loved them, but they would not sit down.
I love those kids.
And Liv knows exactly what went down probably from me telling the story. Mm-hmm. But let's just say we cut the field trip short by about 2 hours and we just walked home early.
Yeah, I remember like them saying, yeah, you're going to be at the library for like 2 to 3 hours. Yeah,
we lasted 45 minutes.
What do you do at the library for half a day? Like,
you can't. It took me 15 minutes to read that one book.
Yeah, I don't even know.
You know, I also remember like hearing people talk about, oh yeah, I like went to the library this weekend with my parents or with my family. I don't know if it's just me. My family never took me to the library. And it's not a pity thing, but like it just wasn't our thing to like go pick out a book.
It wasn't really my family's thing either. I mean, we go every once in a while. That was when I was younger. Actually, I was just there with my sister and we got books, but that's rare.
I feel like my parents took me and my brothers to the library a lot. I don't know why, but because
it's a smart thing to do with your kids.
Yeah, but I was never a huge reader. Like, I remember shopping for the books and like picking them out and then like never reading them. And then they would always be late.
That's like
right. Like, I never had a cart, you know?
A cart?
Card.
Oh,
sorry.
I had a cart.
Like the book fair when you just you'd look at the magazine.
I did like
and
the
you
book
get
fair.
Everything that wasn't a book. You'd be like, oh, that little mini locker, that's
erasers.
mine.
Yeah, and you could like take them apart.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
Those were fun.
Yeah, I would look forward to the book fair every year during school.
The best part of those was like the smell of it.
Yes.
Like the new paper book smell.
Yes.
That was great.
Okay, do you guys remember workbooks we would have in elementary school?
Good Luck Boys Swim.
Like Boys Swim. Yeah. So the workbooks you would have in elementary school where you have like hundreds of math worksheets in one book, you know, and you gotta like rip it out. It's not like you copy it from the textbook. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Like it was like a textbook, but you'd write in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would always, this might be weird to me, whenever we got one for the new school year, I would flip through all the pages and smell it.
Was the writing sometimes blue in those books?
They were all sorts of colors.
Oh. Yeah, those books smelled really good.
Okay, that's weird to me.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I like the smell of the book. Like, I didn't like stick my nose inside the book and smell each page. Like,
I mean, I'm open about it now, but yeah, I would do that. It smelled so good. It was so clean and like, I don't know. There's something about it. Comment down below if you've done the same.
If you could relate. Ooh, that's rough.
Uh-oh. The junior high's been acting up recently. Not gonna call them out, but
yeah, we can't.
I guess they can't really go home, but like when we got done with, they just got back from, we'll talk about Catholic schools more, but they got done with their activity. When we got back, we got to just go home, right?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of us had 7th off, so like,
yeah.
But then us assistant chaplins.
We can get into that next week.
Yeah. No. Next week will be
But they have to stay here because they can't drive.
Oh.
But after having 7th off this entire year, I can't remember being like, I don't know how I used to stay until like 3:20 every day.
I know.
And then like go to a sport after school.
I'm dead after like English, which is our 6th period. Like, I don't know how people are here for another like 40 something minutes. So this is the first time we've filmed in here where like the blinds are open and we have, I don't know about you guys, but my face is straight towards it. No, you can leave it open. I think it's funny.
You want it open?
I think it's funny. It's fine. But like people are walking by and they're kind of smiling because I mean, oh, you know what? It's because we're in our fits.
That could be too.
I forgot about that.
I do look very cool.
But they're kind of laughing. So thanks, guys. Shout out.
Shout out to everyone laughing in the hallway. Junior hallway.
Also, if you guys have like requests for like guests you would want to see on the pod, let us know.
Or even topics.
Whatever.
Because we're just kind of going off a feel right now. We had the first couple episodes planned out, but I think it works better when we just kind of talk about whatever we want to talk about.
Casual conversations.
It works out a lot better most of the time.
Yeah.
So earlier I talked about how I had like a taste in my mouth because of a book and stuff like that. Do you have any like specific memories that are like that you just remember and they're like weirdly detailed? Like
hold on to that question, but what you just said reminded me of something. I think I saw it on TikTok. If you look at any like object, surface, like anything like that, and you imagine yourself, this is gross, licking it, you know the like texture of it. Like look at something right now and tell me like you would know.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
When you said look at something right now, my eyes immediately went to Jace's bald cap with a little bit of hair on it, and I didn't like.
Yeah, exactly. But like if you guys are listening at home, try it. Like look at something. Mrs. Costley.
Don't look at that.
She just glared at us. Oh gosh.
But anyways, I just had to say that because I remember seeing it and it was so true. Like I thought about it everywhere I went. But anyways, Jace, go ahead. Go back to your thing. Oh, the taste. Like if we have like.
Well, no, it's just like any like really detailed memories. Like I remember whenever you know the movie Meet the Robinsons. You ever watch that?
Yeah.
I have a distinct memory of sitting down eating a.
By the way, it wasn't great.
I really liked that movie. I thought it was amazing. That's why I probably like science so much because.
The one thing about you two is you have like the opposite taste in movies. I feel like.
We know.
Yeah, I think so.
That's so weird to me.
Well, it's. I wouldn't say it was bad. I just like it's not one of the kids' movies where it stuck out to me. Like I honestly couldn't tell you the storyline right now, but I did watch it.
I loved the.
Oh, good, Sterling just looked
Okay.
at it.
I loved. Do you know the one scene in Meet the Robinsons when they're at the dinner table and they're the guy that like had all the inventions? It was like one of the weird uncles.
Yeah, he had the like the peanut butter and the jelly like gun.
Yeah. They just made all the food look so good. That's probably why I liked them.
And you really liked Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs too. Maybe you really just like the food in them.
You just like the food movies.
Yeah. I remember one time I was like really sick as a kid, and my mom goes, like, "Is there anything I can get to help you? Like, what do you need?" I was like, "Can you go get Cloudy the Chance of Meatballs too?" And she said, "Yeah, obviously, but
wow,
yeah."
So you must really like Ratatouille then, because that's like little people basically, and then food.
Favorite movie ever.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we did kind of talk about these movies on one of the other episodes, but they're so good. They're like they have such a like it's just our childhood, so it's so easy to think back to them.
It's always easy to think back to movies. Yeah.
Wait, I have a question, but it's so like off topic. A younger kid just walked past the window. Do you think the younger like grades think we're weird for doing a podcast?
Probably.
Do you think our peers think we're weird for doing a podcast?
Probably. Like that kid definitely.
Oh my gosh, he just checked himself out in the mirror.
What did she want? Ew, she has her nose on the window right now.
We need a janitor in the hacker room.
Security.
Cops like you pull that. Jeez! Here, come talk in our pod. Open the door.
Yeah.
We're filming our pod right now. Come say a few words.
Do you have something to say?
What am I saying?
Well, just say a few words. What do you want to say? This is Mrs. Koslecki.
Yeah.
Now or forever hold your peace. Mrs. Berger was just on a couple minutes ago.
Yeah.
This is Mrs. Koslecki, Dana Kostalecki. I am the greatest teacher at Trinity, North Dakota.
Okay.
We're going.
We hope to have her on a full episode one day.
She goes, where is this going? YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere.
It's gonna be everywhere.
We should keep the blinds open from now on every episode, just in case if someone wants to just pop in and say a few
if they
words.
want to pop in, hey, if anyone wants to pop in.
So, 7th hour, if you guys are walking through the halls by the hacker room, you guys can...
Come interrupt us, please.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Actually, yeah, do it. It's fine.
Why not?
If we know you.
Yes. I know this is kind of a Catholic Schools Week thing, but it's not really. I mean, Mardi Gras. Can we talk about Mardi Gras a little bit? Because I just want to hear what your favorite game of Mardi Gras is.
Oh, does bingo count?
Yeah, bingo counts, sure.
Bingo.
Bingo?
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever won?
We'll sit there for hours.
And last year was my first year doing bingo at Mardi Gras.
Really?
And it was life-changing. I didn't want to go home when it was the end of the night.
I don't do the other games because if anything, I'll do the candy wheel until I win, and then I just have that candy sitting at the table with me during bingo the whole time.
That's the perfect way to do a bingo.
Bingo is all day, every day.
Yeah, that's
All day,
very
every day.
true. Have you guys ever won? Have you guys ever won though?
No. I feel like you've won before.
I won big.
What'd you win?
$750.
What?
I won
Are you
750.
serious? When?
Yeah, I was like 2 years ago? 3 years ago? Yeah. I won 750.
Come back to me. I think I remember.
Yeah. I was like on Thomas's story. I had just a pile of cash in my hands, just squatting in the hallway.
Can I
and I'm
ask
like,
what you did with that money?
I saved a lot of that money.
Good.
Some of that money probably went into this, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
He's
Wow.
pointing to our like
Podcast stuff.
box.
Yeah, our podcast stuff.
What's your favorite game at Mardi Gras, Jace?
You should
Yeah.
has the frog hammer one.
The frog hammer one? I
You give
do
me-
not like the frog
Oh,
hammer
okay.
game.
What do you like?
So it used to be Big Mouth is what I used to work at
Oh.
when it was Big Mouth, and then it changed. Now it's the Angry Birds one. I always worked at that one. I didn't play
Changed
it.
it?
I didn't play it. Yeah, but that's been like Angry Birds for a while now.
Oh. See, like I said, I don't play
Yeah,
those
you don't
ones.
play the games. It's not my favorite. It's just the one that I work at every year. But
Yeah.
right across from it, we got Candy Wheel. Candy Wheel is just a classic. Everyone loves Candy Wheel. You'll have the kids coming back with like huge bags of fruities, and they're just happy. Yeah, that's pretty much all I put my tickets on.
You
is
know, I'm
just
curious. I know someone mentioned there's going to be like a new bingo system this year.
that. Yeah, it looked like they had a different setup down there. So I'm
it's
excited
like
to see what that looks like.
Yeah. We'll let you know how it goes, if we like it or if we don't like it. But
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting.
yeah.
I don't think it's going to be very well accepted in like the older population of the bingo goers.
Right. I would have to agree with that. There's going to be some hard feelings, but
Smart feelings.
What are your guys' jobs that you're working for Mardi Gras?
I'm doing concessions. I think they've like mixed around the thing. I'm doing concessions and
That's a job. Like,
Yeah.
I could have signed up for that.
concessions, like the midway concessions.
oh, like in there.
Yeah, like in the gym.
Oh, wow.
But I think it got like mixed around because I did not think I signed up for Friday night. So I'm gonna be working Friday night, and then I'm gonna go straight into Science Bowl. We have like leave at like 5 o'clock in the morning the next day, Saturday.
Oh, my goodness. And that's after like going to
Where are you
school,
going
right?
to?
We're going to Bismarck.
Good luck.
Do you, Mary?
Good luck Science Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ian was telling me about that.
Yeah.
I bet you guys crushed that because Ian's a smart guy.
It
Really?
depends. No, there's like, we're up against public schools. You got like that. There's the population of those kids that are like strictly, this is what I do. This is my life, you know? And that's kind of hard to compete against.
Who else is on the Trinity team?
Let's see. We got 2 teams of Trinity. So it's Ian, Kylie, Hazel, Alex, and I. It's 5. And then the other team.
Ooh, that's great team
Wow.
spirit, Jay.
No, I'm kidding. Whoa.
Oh.
You know what else I just thought of? I just had a random memory because I'm looking out the window in the hack room.
And sorry, what?
I'm looking out the window in the hack room. I see.
Guys, before we do.
You're interrupting me again.
I know. But
This is a constant thing.
we're
throughout this
not.
episode.
Anyway, keep going.
All right. All right.
Matthew McConaughey says that, and I'm writing my activist paper about him.
Whoop.
Shout out Interstellar. Go ahead.
Shout out Interstellar. Why are we back to movies again?
I know.
We need to get off the movie train.
I know.
Okay, I look out this window and I see a pipe on the wall. And I just got flashbacks. Remember when Riker hit his head on that one pipe?
I do.
On the
During
bleachers?
pep rally?
Yeah.
And he like started bleeding.
He started bleeding.
Was it a pipe or was it like a fire thing?
I don't remember. It was something in the gym. It was on the west side of the gym.
remember that.
I remember I was sitting right next to him, and then he just leaves. I'm like, what happened? He's bleeding. Crazy stuff.
stuff.
Also, I'm looking at the gym, and I'm just bringing back all the memories. Remember in 6th grade we had the Shadow Day? Shout out Mrs. Ottercamp
Yes.
walking in the hallway.
Yeah, what day?
Okay, so this is like our first experience, like seeing like Trinity, like as like students, because we'd like walk into Trinity and we'd see, we'd walk in there for Christmas concerts, and that's basically the only time we'd see high school, other than like going to basketball games. Did you ever go to?
We didn't experience the real student life.
Yeah.
So one day in 6th grade, it's like probably the last week of 6th grade, we get to go up to the school we're at now and like a school day works.
We played like games in the gym, and we had like kind of like a pep rally almost.
Yeah.
There was like games and stuff to do in the gym, and we got T-shirts, which was really cool.
And they made it so it was Chicken Nugget Day, obviously.
Class of 2023.
That was the first time I've ever seen people sprint to like a lunch line before.
Yeah.
It was like insane. I was like, so it's just like a free for all here?
Yeah. I didn't even notice that. I
So I
guess.
have T-shirts.
But I don't really remember much of the old school. Do you remember the old school? Really? I mean, Trinity before it burned up.
Oh, yeah, I do. Because I went to, like, games here and stuff. I had, like, older cousins growing up.
Yeah.
And they played on the Trinity teams and all that.
I have a few. And it's all like basketball games.
It's me, honestly, what I remember was like running around during basketball games. Like, you know when you're a kid and you don't sit down.
You were one of the kids that wouldn't sit down during a basketball game.
Yeah, I would like go under the bleachers.
Those are my least favorite.
I was not one of those kids, personally. What I did instead is
I ran around with Dawson Councilman. I remember that.
I went underneath the stairs. There was 2 kids, and they sold me a grasshopper for 25 cents. And I got a grasshopper in a cup.
You're making that up.
I'm not joking. That is 100% real.
You're a nerd.
I thought they were so old. I thought they were adults, but they were probably, honestly, like 6th graders. Or like 5th graders.
That's relatable, though.
No, it is. Like yeah, it's crazy.
But I gave them a quarter, and they gave me a grasshopper in a little plastic. It was like a sauce cup, and they had the grass in it, and they poked holes. No, they poked holes, and it was alive.
Oh, wow.
They're like shaking, and it was jumping around.
What were you going to do with it?
I don't know. I just was holding on to it.
What did you end up doing with it?
I don't remember. I just remember buying it. That's the only memory I have with that.
You know, I remember raising ladybugs at my grandma's house.
Didn't you say that they like got out of the container and like went around?
Yeah, so I don't know if the cousin squad is listening, but...
The cousin squad? That's what you call your cousins?
Squad in 2020.
Okay, delete that. Let me try again.
No.
That's staying in.
Okay, whatever. If I have my cousins listening, but... We would go to my grandma's house, and I think it was like during the summer. She always had so many ladybugs in her front yard. She would buy these containers for us. Shout out Grandma Donna. She's the best. And we would make a little shelter, put some grass in it, poke some holes in it. We'd each go pick out ladybugs. And then we'd go bring them to the basement and have them like run around. I don't know if she knows that. She probably told us like we couldn't let them out, but we did. Yeah.
That's disgusting.
No, the ladybugs are so cute, and we had like their little habitats and like.
Were you a kid that like would you pick up a bug and just like let it crawl on you?
No, but ladybugs didn't affect me.
I thought bugs were like so cool to play with.
I did too.
How can you play with ladybugs but not like pick up bugs?
Ladybugs are like different though. Ladybugs aren't gross to me. They're like cute.
Would you like dig worms? Like
no.
Did your dad ever like take you fishing and you like put the worm on it?
I had something better than digging for worms. I had this little thing, and it was called a bug sucker. That's what I called it, at least. It was like a gun that was a vacuum cleaner, and it had little like containers, so I could suck up the bugs and put them in a container, and like I had little containers of bugs.
Let's just say, if I had that as a kid, I would have never went inside. Jace, I'm so jealous.
Yeah, I had so many weird. No, I had so many weird toys. For outside.
Maddie's like...
Because I was big into, like, the science, like, stuff like that when I was little.
I was never a science kid at all.
But it got to the point where... Yeah, they're laughing because there's just people walking through the hallway.
We're just people watching, honestly.
Alright, we're getting a live reaction from the hallway. We're watching as this
No one cares, obviously, that we're filming. No one.
Everyone really wants to go home.
Including Maddie.
Oh my gosh, he yelled at me today. Brandon, shout out Brandon.
That was the bell, by the way.
Yeah, that was the bell.
That was.
Yeah.
Well, bye.
Bye.
Bye.